you're doing well. My name is Yumi. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. So in today's video, I thought I would take us to the art museum. I've made a video like this before, and these are kind of like one of my favorite videos to do because one, it's kind of an excuse to go to the art museum, and two, it's like one of my favorite places to find inspiration. My plan is I'm going to bring my sketchbook, and then I'm going to do some quick sketches of pieces that I feel really inspired by, and then we're going to bring that home and I'm going to create a more refined sketchbook spread where I take the pieces that I really like and make like extra details to it and everything. I'm going to show you the materials that I'll be using and bringing along with me. One of the materials I'll be bringing is my favorite sketchbook, this little guy. It's been with me this entire year and I'm actually almost done with it, which is very exciting. So I'm gonna bring this and do some like quick sketches at the museum. For example, something kind of like this. I did this about a couple weeks ago with a friend of mine, an artist friend of mine. I do something similar to what I did here on this page, and I'm going to pick out a color pencil I'm going to bring with me to use. I'm just going to use one color and go with that. So we're gonna pick a color. So I'm going to pick out from these blues because I mean I'm wearing blue today, so I was like, might as well pick out a cool tone blue color. I think I'm just gonna close my eyes and we'll see which one I pick because I cannot make a decision today. Oh, I was hoping I would get this one. It's the China blue color and it's just a very, very beautiful dark blue. I'm so happy. I am so pleased. This is the one that I wanted. So we're gonna go with this. Very excited. Yeah, so we're gonna bring this and this, and we're gonna head to the art museum. Hello. So it's been about like maybe 3 days, 3 days since I went to the art museum with you all. And today we're gonna work on creating a spread in my Strathmore mixed media sketchbook. We're gonna create something a little more detailed than the ones that I took when I was at the art museum. I did like brief sketches that I chatted with y'all about earlier. So we're going to use this. And I believe I'm gonna do a combination of like watercolors, maybe some gouache, and then some color pencils, of course. So we're gonna do that in here, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. While I'm waiting for this watercolor to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and get some color pencils and work on the next part of this page. This part I'm gonna be doing is inspired by a Van Gogh painting that I saw at the museum, and it was called Daisy's Arles. I think that's how you say it. It was a painting of like a basket of daisies, and the brushstrokes in this piece were just so beautiful to look at. The texture and
just felt so like three-dimensional in a way. I don't know, the way he paints is just, I mean, it's Van Gogh, so it's like it's just incredible and so unique to him, and I just loved this piece so much. So I really wanted to use like color pencils to kind of emulate the feeling that I felt while looking at this piece, and to hopefully add some like texture as well, which was like I felt like the big emphasis on this painting. On this page, I'm working on a Monet painting that I saw that I think is probably one of my new favorites. I have so many favorites, but this is definitely in like the top 5 or something, because this painting I've seen numerous times now, and it just, each time I look at it, I feel like I'm seeing something new in it, and I just love it. Painting is called Camille at the Window, Argentine teal. Yeah, definitely saying that wrong too, I feel like. But that is, it's just a gorgeous painting. And I believe when I was reading the inscription on the side, Camille was his wife, and that was the subject in the painting. In the center is this woman, and at the window amongst all these blooming, beautiful flowers, and something about it felt like it was really speaking to my soul. I wanted to be this woman in this window, just like thriving amongst the flowers. It's like would be my dream. This was the one that I was most excited to do a more refined sketch of, because of just the amount of detail in this piece and the colors and how much this painting really affected me. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to go home and paint this and just try to see if I can emulate the feeling that I felt when I saw this piece. I'm not like doing an exact replica. I'm just kind of trying to gather like what I was seeing and like emphasis on like the colors or like the texture of the flowers, or using a different medium, because I believe this was painted with oils and I'm using watercolor, gouache, and color pencil on top to create contrast and depth for this painting. But yeah, I really love this one, and this was probably the one that I was most excited to paint when I got home. Here on this page, I'm currently using gouache on top of watercolor. I thought that this combination of these two different paint mediums would work really well with this specific painting that I'm taking inspiration from. One of the paintings that I saw at the art museum, it was a Monet piece called Irises by the Pond. And one thing about this painting that I really loved was the use of texture and the way that he used his brush strokes to create a sense of like movement and vibrancy to the painting that made it feel like it was really jumping off the wall in a way. Like I felt like the paint textures really great gave the painting so much like beautiful movement and depth and contrast, and I just felt like the colors too really added to that as well. Like it was a very blue and green and lavender color palette, so it had a more overall cool, I'd say like a cool tone color palette that made it really calming to look at. So this piece was like one of my favorites that I saw in the gallery. It's a painting that I've seen several times at this point now, and each time I look at it, I'm met with this feeling of peace and calm, and I feel like it's become one of my favorites, because I think that especially recently, where things for me personally in my life, I felt slightly chaotic. Seeing this painting was just a really great way for myself to feel at calm and at rest, and to feel like I could slow down a bit and just immerse myself in this piece. So really love this piece. Beautiful painting by Monet, and definitely a favorite of mine that I was able to see.
So I finished creating the refined sketchbook spread, and I'm going to show you what the completed page looks like. Here is the full spread. I really love how everything turned out here. I enjoyed doing a lot of mixed mediums together, like with the gouache and the watercolor and the color pencil on top. I just love how everything just flows together and gives it a really nice movement and texture to the page, and really captures the feeling of what I saw when I was at the art museum and looking at these pieces specifically. And yeah, I just love doing this exercise. I think recently I've been kind of struggling with a bit of an art block and just feeling overwhelmed with all the things that I need to get done or finish or whatnot. And so I think going to the art museum was just so good for me. It's definitely a page that really helped to inspire me again and bring me lots of joy. I highly recommend bringing a sketchbook, going to art museum, and finding something that inspires you. Surrounding yourself with art and having a quiet moment with a piece that really means a lot to you can really do something for the heart. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.